morning. Today you're going to be taking some notes. You can find these notes as usual underneath the classwork tab, labeled Notes 510. They are our traditional notes with your red text boxes that you'll need to fill in. This is with the exception of slide 2. Slide 2 focuses on the Guptan geography, so you will need to use the maps attached to the assignment to answer the 2 questions. So make sure that you do that. If you have any questions or need any help, please feel free to pause and rewatch this video as you do not want to miss any important concepts. However, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, continuing our discussion of the interaction and fall of empires, we're going to be focusing on the Gupta Empire. This will be the empire that rises in what will become India, focusing on the Indus and the Ganges River Valley. The Gupta Empire will first emerge in 320 CE with Chandragupta I founding the empire. Then from 330 to 376 CE, Samardragupta will expand the empire from the Indus River to the Bay of Bengal and up into the northern mountains. Then his son will take over in 376 and rule until 415 CE. And Chandragupta II makes the empire secure and encourages trading. So he was able to put a stop to invading groups and solidify his rule throughout what will become India. We'll see poetry and art flourish during the reign of Brahmagupta from 415 to 450 CE. This will become the Golden Age. We talked about what Golden Age meant last unit. This is the time where we see empires and civilizations thrive. However, after this Golden Age, the empire will begin to collapse in 450 from pressure from the invading Huns. And then it will not take long for the Gupta dynasty to end when Shashraka will die in 554 CE. So all this timeline gives you a little bit of an idea of where we're at in history and the major events and time periods. Now we'll look at the geography. On this map, you can see the geographic features. So what geographic features would have aided the Gupta Empire? Remember that the geographic features are natural features that occur in our world, things like oceans, rivers, mountains, valleys, volcanoes, islands, peninsulas, all those kinds of things. So use this map to list a couple of those geographic features. And your second map focuses on the Silk Road. Thinking about where the Gupta Empire was located, remember it's going to be located in this area of northern India and stretch up into the mountains, as well as stretch down to the Bay of Bengal, this area here. And so you see the land routes in red as well as the blue routes, which signify water routes. So think about how would the Gupta's location have helped with trade? Now we're going to begin to talk about some of their important social institutions, starting first with something called the caste system. During the reign of the Gupta dynasty, India prospered. However, some people had more power and wealth than others, and they created the caste system. Caste system is when people were born into a particular caste or social group with related jobs and rights. They were stuck in that caste for life, and that their children would be in the same caste. Higher up in the caste pyramid, the more respect you had. The lower you were, the less respect you had. This system, an extremely rigid form of a social hierarchy, will last to present day. They still use the caste system in India, which makes it very difficult for many people to leave poverty and lead successful lives. As again, a lot of other times their rights are limited. Now, since the caste system is tied to law, we want to look at the first law code used. India's most famous legal code, or the Laws of Manu, were compiled over the years between 200 and 400 CE, so during that beginning period of the Gupta dynasty, and they will be continued to use afterwards. Under this law code, the position of women is going to be restricted. These laws illustrate the efforts of the Brahmin elite to restrict women's legal independence in this later period. And we're going to take a look at some of those laws here, both dealing with the caste system and dealing with people's rank in society. So once you're done with these notes, feel free to turn them in. If you need to rewatch any part, please do. And then you can move on to your next activity. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.